Good evening, everyone, and as you heard from Frank, we're in a bit of a pause with the flow. So I'm sure there's a lot of questions out there about the possibility of reopening the village road. But as he mentioned, it's still showing signs of lava reaching the flow front, maybe not breaking out. So we're going to maintain the road closure. Everybody can support us with that. Besides the fact that we also have the protective measures around some of the poles on there taking up one of the lanes. So it would add more frustration if we open the road at this point. And again, we feel it's not safe yet to do so. So if you can hang in there, obviously when it's safe to open up roads, we will do that. To clear up some maybe miscommunication or some confusion that's out there. One is, as the gentleman from the school was sharing me, and I had a visitor from Haas School yesterday, there was rumor that we were going to close Highway 130 today. As you can see, Highway 130 is still open. There's no plan to close Highway 130 without letting you know and having a plan as far as a date and time, and so far in advance of the flow. And as you can see, the flow is not moving currently, so we're not going to be closing the road until we absolutely need to do so. Things that might be trigger points for us closing the road is if it was to cross the Pahoa Village Road, and as it advances towards Highway 130, there would be obviously other hazards such as fire, smoke, maybe hazardous materials like the methane blasts, and we'll make decisions then. There might also be an opportunity, because I know many of you here are maybe disappointed that we haven't allowed viewing of the lava or the eruption, but when it reaches Highway 130, that might be the first opportunity that we can try to support some form of managed viewing. But we understand what that brings with that, a lot of traffic issues, losing the highway as a route for transportation, and then resorting to the alternate access. But the one thing I can assure you is we would be doing it with you knowing well in advance, so it's not a surprise, and we'd be communicating that early so you can plan for that. So we're not closing 130 at this time. The other myth that we wanted to clear up was with regards to the access on the alternate access roads. As you know, we have Railroad Avenue closed at this time. We'll open it when we need to open the road to provide access. The reason why we're keeping it closed is so we maintain it in the condition that it was built. It's ready to go. It's just a matter of opening gates when we need to. And we'd be opening that road in advance, again, of any threats so that people can familiarize themselves with the road, the route, and get accustomed to the driving through there before we actually close 130. So that'll be coordinated and again, communicated with all of you. There's not going to be any restriction or restricted use of those roads. The, I guess, concern that people had with some form of an ID or a decal or a sticker is more with regards to the access on chain of craters if and when we need to use that. And in partnership and real close coordination with the National Park, some form of a process of identification will be identified to provide for ease of access and mobility and transportation without causing too much inconvenience, but that'll be coordinated with the park, because we respect that they need to protect those resources as well and manage the park. But that will also be communicated and a plan in place prior to the opening of the road, and the system and information on how that will work will be shared with all of you. We're still in the discussion phase with the park. They do have a concept that they would like to pursue. We just want to make sure that everyone knows how that will work, the system will be in place, and how we can support people having access. And they are very sensitive to the fact that it's not just access for the residents going in and out, it's access for those resources that need to come in to sustain the community. The businesses will need goods. You'll need to have access to goods and commodities. So it's not just residential traffic, it's for other things as well. So that'll all be coordinated, and again, you'll be kept well informed. So at this time, as I mentioned, we're going to maintain the road closure. We're continuing our 24/7 monitoring of the flow. Our personnel are on the ground here in the community, round the clock. They go out on the flow at all hours in partnership with HVO, walk it to understand what's happening out there. If there's any change, you'll be kept informed. So again, I just want to let everybody know you can sleep at night. We are watching it. Obviously, there's nothing happening right now. One other question, it's come up at several of the meetings, the concern with the former Pahoa Gas and Go service station and any underground fuel tanks. We have received the official documents from both the Department of Health as well as the environmental consultant that did the work to confirm the tanks were removed. Along with some of the soil that might have had oil on it, they did do a mitigation and remove some of those soils. So if there was any concerns about an underground fuel tanks or fuel tanks out there, those tanks were removed, and we have the report from the Department of Health that confirms that. So with that, again, thank you for allowing us to come out on Thursday nights and share information. We have a large number of agencies out here. One that I'd like to put a plug in because they did a great job helping us going door to door, and that's our CERT team. And they're actually back here ready to recruit. So if you're interested in becoming a CERT member or getting the training, please see them. They'll get your information, they'll help get you connected with our instructors for future training. But this time I'd like to welcome up Mayor Kinoy, if you'd like to say a few words. And again, thank you.